Hello everyone, the movie starts with a huge wedding, and it is the bride Reno with her father Chowdhury, who is considered the village chief and everyone is afraid of her brutality. In the village, it is the father who chooses the future husband for his daughter and the wife does not have the right to choose. Reno is unhappy with her marriage and everyone thinks she is crying because she is leaving her father's house for her husband's house. During the wedding, Reno runs away with his lover Rakesh and leaves everyone confused and his father learns of his fugue with another man from the village. Chowdhury ordered his men to look for them and to go see Rakesh's father and question him. Chowdhury's men brutally beat Rakesh's father and set his house on fire when he told them he knew nothing. After the beatings, Rakesh's father gives them a picture of his son's close friends and says they know where Rakesh is. Chowdhury's men go after Rakesh's friends and beat them until they admit that their friend Pablo is the one who knows where Rakesh is, so the men go to Pablo and ask him where he is. He tells them he doesn't know where he is, then jokes with them that he would like to call Rakesh to congratulate him on running away with his girlfriend. Chowdhury's men spank Pablo, so he begins to hit them hard one by one masterfully and shows them some of his strength. After defeating the men of Chowdhury, Pablo receives a blow to the head of one of the men and then loses consciousness. Pablo awakens from his coma and finds himself surrounded by an army of Chowdhury's men and Reno's family. Pablo asks them the identity of the person who hit him in the head. Pablo tells them that their daughter ran away to marry the person she loves, not the person chosen for her, and also tells them that they are responsible for their daughter's escape and that she did nothing wrong with her behavior. After that, Chowdhury arrives on the scene and everyone gives way so that he passes out of respect for him. Chowdhury told Pablo that he would not leave this place without finding his daughter and then ordered his men to imprison him with his friends. In prison, Pablo meets his friends and another person with them named Kiki, while Chowdhury's men kidnap him because they think he is Rakesh who escaped with their daughter. Pablo's friends ask him where Rakesh is, and he tells them he doesn't care about the topic of his escape now because he thinks about the girl he fell in love with at first glance, although he doesn't know anything about her and just wants to see her again. After that, Pablo and his friends try to escape from prison and on their way, Pablo sees the man who hit him on the head and then orders his friends to wait for him next to the train. Pablo will teach the man who hit him on the head an unforgettable lesson, then try to catch up with his friends, but suddenly he sees the beautiful girl he loved at first sight and freezes until the train they were waiting for leaves to escape. Chowdhury's men surround Pablo and his friends again and send them back to prison. After that, Chowdhury comes and beats his brother because he let them run away and couldn't watch them, then asks Pablo and his friends not to think about running anymore. Pablo's friends yell at him because he missed their chance to escape and ask him why he stopped. Pablo responds by saying that the girl he loves was the one who arrested him and that she lives in this very village. One of his friends told him that it is forbidden in this village to think of his wives because they only marry their relatives. Through this scene, we discover that the girl Pablo loves is Reno's sister who fled with Rakesh at the beginning of the film and the girl is called Dembi, who is another daughter of the evil village chief Chowdhury. Dembi wants to go to university to present his graduation letter but his uncle tells him that they are now busy escaping his sister and suspects she might do as her sister Reno, then forbids him to leave. Dembi returns and finds in front of her face Rajo, a relative whom she hates but whose father wants her to marry him after finding his sister. Dembi goes to her father and tells him they forbade her to go to university because they suspect she might run away too. Then her father tells her he loves her, but the university is completely forbidden at this point until they find her sister. He also tells her that he knows it was Rakesh who tricked his sister into running away with him, but if he finds out she ran away with his consent, then in this case he will kill her because the customs and traditions of the village do not believe in something like love. After that, we see Dembi with her friend where she tells him that her family banned her, stops her from going to university because of her sister Reno and starts hating her sister because she is the cause of her problems now. Demby's friend tells him that Rakesh's friends know where Reno is, and for this the girl goes to them to ask them to confess where her sister is so that she can be released from the curfew imposed on her. Demby asks Pablo behind the prison door where his sister is in exchange for their release, but he refuses to tell him, and he doesn't know that Demby, who she is talking to now, is the girl he loves. Pablo wants to tell him where his sister is, but on the condition that she finds him the girl he loves, who is in their village. Demby goes back to her friend and finds love letters between Rakesh and her sister Reno, and one of those letters flies through the air to reach her uncle. Meanwhile, Demby picks up the letters and gives them to his friend in order to burn them. Her uncle comes and asks her the source of the letter. Demby tells her that she knows nothing about the letter, then looks out the window and sees her friend. He orders a man to search Demby's friend, and fortunately his friend disposed of the letters before the inspection. Pablo and his friends take the letters and start reading them, then try to blackmail Demby as Pablo orders him to look for the girl he loves or he will give the letters to his father. After that, Pablo goes to cut the electricity at the Chowdhury family home, then finds the big man with a long beard and beats him. After sneaking into the house, Pablo meets Demby in the dark and tells him that he is annoyed by her because she did not look for the girl he loves. Demby goes to get a lamp, and when she comes back, she finds Pablo in the shower, and when he has finished bathing, he gives her a necklace that fell from the girl he loves and asks her to look for her. She goes home and discovers that the necklace she took from Pablo is her lost necklace and that she is the same girl he loves. The next morning, Demby discovers that her father and all the men are going to look for her sister Reno because they have found the place where she is hiding. Pablo surprises Chowdhury's men about where Rakesh and Reno are, and he leaves quickly before the men arrive to save Rakesh and Reno. Pablo arrives at the hiding place and then tells Reno and Rakesh that his family is on their way because Rakesh had spoken with his mother. Chowdhury's men traced the call. After that, Pablo takes them on a bus to save their lives, gives them money and tells them he will be next to them. Chowdhury's men once imprisoned Pablo and his friends in the barn. Pablo then fights with his friend because his friend tells him that he knew where Rakesh and Reno were, but he hid them. In the next scene, we see Demby talking about Pablo, where she says he was protecting Reno and Rakesh and knows where they are all this time because he is a faithful friend. Suddenly, his uncle hears him speak, then grabs him and takes out all the young people and asks him questions about the person she was talking about, and she replies in the negative every time he points his hand at one of the people until he reaches Pablo, who looks shocked because he found the girl he loves, who is Demby. Demby nods his head as a sign that Pablo is the one who knows where Rakesh and Reno are. Then they take him and torture him with all their might, but he doesn't admit where they are. After that, Pablo lies to them saying that Rakesh and Reno are in Delhi because they were about to kill his friend. On her way to Delhi, Pablo tells Demby that she loves someone and that she will run away with him one day, then tells her father that it is possible that she too will run away during their absence. Everyone goes on a trip to find the two escaping lovers, but suddenly Demby's father stops and asks his uncle to take him with them. On the way, Reno's father goes to the police and orders them to look for his daughter everywhere. Then Pablo tells them that as long as he knows Rakesh, he will now be at the temple to marry their daughter Reno. Everyone goes to the temple, but they find nothing, and at the temple, Pablo talks to Demby and tells him that he asked them to come to the temple to tell him that he loves him from the bottom of his heart and that he does not lie, especially if he is in a temple. One of the guys sees a girl who looks like Reno. He tells them she's on the bus, then they go behind the bus and order everyone out, but they can't find Reno on the bus. Suddenly, Demby disappears from view, and Pablo and his father go to ask the policeman about him, and he tells them he hasn't seen her. In this scene, we see a group of men trying to rape Demby, and we also see Pablo running home. He then beat the group of men one by one mercilessly until Demby's father arrived, who thanked Pablo for saving his daughter. At night, Pablo goes to Demby's father's house, finds him drunk in the middle of the road, and then calms down. Demby's father starts talking to Pablo, where he tells him that his daughter, whom he raised and did not deprive anything of life, runs away with someone else. Then Pablo is influenced by his words. When Demby confesses his love for Pablo, his father pushes them and runs behind a bus, chanting his daughter Reno's name. Then the bus stops. Reno tries to escape, but his family surrounds him and they beat Rakesh. Then Pablo intervenes to protect him. Chowdhury tries to hit Rakesh, but Reno orders him to stop immediately because she won't let him touch him because he is her husband. Rakesh tells his father to leave them alone because he loves Reno, and when they were about to kill them, Reno tells them that she is pregnant and his father tells him that he considers her dead from now on and that he has only one daughter, Demby. Then he leaves them and leaves. After that, Chowdhury apologizes to Pablo and his friends and he tells them that I have no enmity with them because he was just looking for his daughter, and then invites them to Demby's wedding. Pablo is shocked and he is in a lot of sorrow, and Demby also feels a lot of sadness in his heart. After that, Pablo goes to his friends, who offer to help him escape with Demby. Pablo and his friends go to Demby's wedding, but his father seems to be suspicious of Pablo, so he tries to sit with him throughout the party. Suddenly, Chowdhury throws Pablo out of the party and tells him he knows he's trying to escape with Demby, but Pablo responds by saying he was trying to prepare a plan to escape with Demby, but he backed off because he saw that Chowdhury was worried when Reno ran away with Rakesh. Then Pablo takes his friends and tries to leave the scene. Suddenly, Rajo and his men block the road to Pablo and Rajo tells him that he came to spoil his marriage to Demby, and they beat him with all their might. During the confrontations, Rajo tells Pablo that he will kill him, then he will finish the wedding ceremony with Demby. Then Pablo gets angry and beats him with all his might. Demby's father comes and tells Pablo that he doesn't know how he made Demby fall in love with him, then offers him his daughter Demby on a silver platter to marry him. At the end of the film, everyone rejoices in this happy ending between escaped lovers. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to the channel to support us.